Welcome, everyone. Again, just share where you're from, what you're hoping to get out of this. So let me just start off with a few questions that I would like to ask all of you here. Do you remember? I do. Do you remember when you were a teenager and in your 20s when you could pretty much eat whatever you want and not gain weight? Raise your hand on the chat box if you remember that. Do you remember that? Remember we could just do whatever we wanted, eat Taco Bell and El Pollo, and I was super active. Yeah, raise your hand if you remember being able to eat whatever you wanted, not gain weight, right? And then do you remember, depending on how old you are, so far 12 people have raised their hand. Then do you remember like getting into your 30s, late 30s, 40s? It's like things weren't working as well. You were still, in fact, you were probably eating less, and you started kind of gaining a little bit of weight, and you started kind of hurting a little bit, and your joints started hurting, and maybe you weren't sleeping as well. Raise your hand if you have experienced that, or maybe you're experiencing that now. And then, depending on how old you are, this is happening earlier and earlier in life because of the American way. Um, then raise your hand if you started like having different things happen. You know, maybe some type of diagnosis, maybe pre-diabetes, or maybe you had to have a hysterectomy because you had all these fibroids. Maybe your thyroid started acting up. Has any of that things happened to you? Has that been something you've experienced? And then, no matter how little you ate and how much you exercise, this little tire around your belly just started forming and getting bigger and bigger, and you're like, "What the heck?" Raise your hand if that sounds familiar. So that's why I'm here. I'm here because we don't have to see if I can advance the slide here. um, Okay, spacebar maybe? There we go. Spacebar it is. Okay, so this is my promise to you that I want to share with you. I want to share with you in the next 45 minutes why that's happening to so many of us. I want to share with you and help you discover the 5 steps to resetting your health, to resetting your metabolism. And it's all about burning fat. And I'll explain that in a minute, why that's so important, the difference between fat burning and sugar burning. So that's my promise to you. That's what I want to cover today is these frustrations that we've been having, these things that have been happening in our life, and we just feel like completely out of control. I want to empower you. I want to give you tools and knowledge tonight to completely empower you. So I've taken over the last 7 years, 2,500 and counting clients through this Pura Vida transformation system. I found it myself first. I love what I do. It's amazing. Let's find out what it's about. So here's Michelle, typical client of ours. She started the program, it's been about 5 years ago now. She came in, tons of medication, she was in her late 40s, early 50s when she came in, full-blown diabetic. She actually um, cried in the consultation room that she had 2 daughters and she was afraid that she wasn't going to be around for them. Her kidneys were in stage 3 kidney failure, and she had been working with a personal trainer, a good friend of mine, for over a year, like intense personal training with no change whatsoever. She was stronger, but no change in her body, no change in her health. And this is what happened. 40 days later, in my program, she was off all medication. 40 days. Her medical doctor actually sent a letter. You're not in stage 3 kidney failure anymore. And I know this seems incredible and unbelievable, but it's absolutely 100% true. And this happens on a regular basis when you give the body what it needs. And that's what I want to teach you. So let's talk about distractions. Are you paying attention? So we're on a webinar right now. We're on a computer. Maybe you're on your phone. But I implore you and I encourage you, if you're going to take this time to spend with all of us tonight, turn off your phone, turn off your browser, anything you can do to just like be here right now, be present. Because I promise you, the information I'm going to cover can absolutely transform your health, not just today, but your future health. I have some information that no one's ever shared with you before. Um, it's science-based, it's cutting-edge technology, but yet it goes back to the healing strategies and things that our ancestors did thousands of years ago. So thousands of years old, but cutting edge. It's like, how do those two come together? So, put away your things, put away your distractions. I mean, I know that I've been on a lot of these things online, and sometimes you get busy and you're looking at something else, or you're watching TV or cooking dinner. But how many times have you taken a class or learned this amazing information that you're going to learn tonight and then did nothing about it? You didn't implement it into your life, and then later you regretted that. So I want to encourage you that if you take the time, if you put all the distractions away, like what I used to do too, and really focus on the material and what I'm going to share with you, that I'm going to give you every opportunity at the end to not let this be wasted information. What good is it to gain all this amazing information if you don't get to see the results that can happen in your life by implementing those changes? So I'm going to give you that opportunity to implement these changes. Okay, why isn't it moving? There we go. Okay, so I have a free gift, a free offer to offer you at the end. If you stay with us here. Oh my gosh, why isn't it advancing? Okay, who am I? Who am I? Like, who are you listening to? Well, I'm Dr. CJ Benkert, originally a chiropractor. 28 years ago, went through chiropractic school because of my love of nutrition, wanting to always be a doctor, wanting to help people. Got into chiropractic, loved chiropractic, loved what I was doing, loved how many people I was helping, but started to get really frustrated as time went on because people kept coming back with the same aches and pains. So I would put all this energy and all this life force into people to help them. And they would leave feeling amazing. And then they would come back a week later, same aches, same pains. And I would talk to them about their diet and nutrition and what true health was and what kind of lifestyle changes that they could make. And just so many people weren't willing to make those changes. So 5 years ago, no, I'm sorry, 2015. So, oh my goodness, 6 years ago, I sold my chiropractic practice because of my own journey, and I'll share that in just a minute. I ended up doing all nutritional work, which is what I've been doing for the last 7 years. And I, over the last 7 years, have developed through clinical trials, through my experience, through over 2,500 different people's experiences, just fine-tuned and formulated and just created this amazing system, this amazing transformation system that will absolutely change your life, change how you look about your future, your health, how you feel, how you look. I mean, it's phenomenal. Okay. So I want to share with you briefly my own personal story, and I'm going to be very open and very vulnerable with this story, and I hope that's okay. But in 2014, I was in full-time chiropractic practice. I was doing what I loved. I graduated in 1993. Things were amazing. I was helping a lot of people. I had a very busy, successful practice. I had massage therapists, and we did spinal decompression and all kinds of amazing work. And things were good. And then, as most of you on this call know, life happens, stress happens, divorce happens, financial issues happen, family problems happen, and stress started creeping into my life. And because I had always gone to food as my comfort, I started turning to, even though here I was a health doctor talking to people about health and nutrition, I started turning to food, sugar primarily, sugar and carbohydrates. And I just got to a point where I just was so stressed and so overwhelmed with running a business and treating patients every day that I started, like, I'd go on my way home from work after treating people all day and helping them and being supposedly the leader of health and nutrition. I would secretly have to stop at 7-Eleven, go in, look around, afraid that one of my patients might see me, and buy a Coke Slurpee and a Payday bar. My body was so out of whack and I was so stressed that I turned to food. And if this went on for a couple of years. And I specifically remember one Tuesday morning getting up, looking at my body and how I felt and my weight and the depression that had set in and how tired I was. And I'm like, I got to do something. So I got up early before work. I'm like, I'm going to go for a run. I hadn't done that probably for a couple of years. I get up, I get my running shoes on, I attempt my run. I get back home after like 30 minutes. I was so exhausted that I could not go to work that morning. I had to go back into my bed and sleep. I was so exhausted. My adrenals were so fatigued. My body was so drained mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And that day I decided that something had to change. Because at 50 years old, I remember thinking to myself, I do not want to live to be 100 if this is how I'm going to feel. And so I went on this journey. I embarked on this journey to find the truth, to figure out what was going to work, what I needed to do to balance out my hormones, to get my energy back, to detoxify my body. And over the last 7 years, I've perfected that program, and it changed my life. So today, 7 years later, I'm not in my 60s metabolically. I don't have depression. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I have more energy than I've had in a long time, probably since my 20s and 30s. 150 pounds, but I don't care about weight. What I care about is I am now at 58 years old. I have the metabolic age, the inward cellular health of a 20-year-old because of this journey that I've been on. So we call that from pain to purpose. My pain, my struggle, I want to embark the blessings of that, the lessons from that, the silver lining of my pain. I want to embark and give that to you so that you don't have to. And if you're going through what I just described, it's not your fault. It's okay. I have an answer for you. I'm going to explain to you why you feel that way, why your body's changing as you get older. It doesn't have to happen. It's not a necessary part of aging to have all those things happen. It's not. All right, so I'm here today. My why, my passion is I want to keep as many people from suffering the way that I did. And if you've already been suffering like I was, I want to give you that opportunity today to stop that right now. You don't need to continue on the path that you're on right now. Because right now, almost worldwide, not just the United States, 7 out of 10 people are overweight or obese. Diabetes alone. So I have a huge passion for diabetes. It's an epidemic. It's the fastest growing disease. We spend $1 billion a day just in the United States because of diabetes. You want to save the economy? You want to make a change on this planet? Don't become a diabetic. If you're on this call right now, if you're listening to me right now, we can reverse that. Yes, I know that sounds far-fetched, but we can reverse that very quickly. That's why I love that my foundational training was in chiropractic, because chiropractic philosophy taught me that the power that made your body, the power that's in your body, can heal your body. We call it above, down, inside out. And everything I do now with this lifestyle program, with this coaching program, with this nutritional program, with this transformational program, is all about above, down, inside out, cellular healing. 88% of Americans, insulin resistance. So that doesn't mean that you're a diabetic. We now know, based on recent studies, and here's a book that I would highly recommend you read, Why We Get Sick. This is a researcher, a scientist out of BYU, Dr. Benjamin Bikman. Why We Get Sick. Last 20 years of his research is showing that the foundation, the start of strokes, heart disease, cancer, autoimmune, Alzheimer's, etc., guess what it is? Insulin resistance. And I'm going to talk about how and why. So do you want to be another statistic? I hope not. That's why I want to share with you right now 5 simple steps teaching your body how to burn fat for fuel instead of sugar, and in the process of so doing, transforming your health. I have people on the call right now, myself included, whose health has been transformed because of this program. So you don't need to be another statistic. This program will help you. It can transform your health. If you're on medications, you don't have to stay on those medications. The weight will come off effortlessly when you're in fat burning. I want to equip you with the tools. So let's do it. Everybody ready? Raise your hand if you're ready to go over the 5 steps to transforming your health and metabolism. Raise your hand. 12, 13, 16, 17. Raise your hand. Do you want to know what the 5 steps are? Do my clients know what the 5 steps are? If you're on this call and you've been through my program, do you know what the 5 steps are? Raise your hand if you want to find out. All right, step 1. The first step, you have to find out the underlying root cause. So Western medicine, mainstream medicine is disease care. It's not health care. We're treating symptoms with surgeries and drugs, very necessary at times. I'm not anti-medicine. I was pre-med. I was getting ready to go to medical school when I decided that I wanted to learn about health and nutrition and exercise and inward healing and honor the body's ability to heal instead of just covering it up with drugs and surgery. So if you don't figure out the actual cause, then you're not going to get anywhere. So we have to find out the cause of why your body's changing. It's not just because you're getting older. It's not a normal part of aging. Why are you gaining weight? Why isn't your thyroid working? Why can't you lose the weight like you used to in your 20s and 30s by just cutting back on your food a little bit and going to the gym? Why is your emotional health different now? Why do people irritate you now? That didn't happen 10, 15, 20 years ago. We got to get at the root cause. So if you are unable to understand the cause of a problem, it's impossible to solve it. So we can't come up with a solution. We can't take the next step unless we figure out what the cause is. So why do we get sick? What's the cause? I was stuck too 7 years ago. This is after I figured out my health. This was about 5 years ago. I didn't know what the root cause was. I was a chiropractor. I was a specialist in nutrition, I thought. And I was doing detoxes and taking these vitamins and doing this program and exercising this way and taking this out of my diet, and nothing worked until I figured out the actual cause. So what causes all dis-ease? What causes insulin resistance? Toxicity, We all know that our environment's filled with garbage, right? We've got fluoride in the water, chlorine in the water. We've got heavy metals. Some of us have metal in our mouth. Amalgam fillings are half mercury. There's copper in our pipes, lead. There's toxins all over. There's pesticides, antibiotics. I don't need to spend a lot of time on toxins, hopefully. I think most people realize we're living in a more toxic world today than ever before. You know, in the name of advancement and technology, we've allowed toxins to go into our rivers and our streams and our oceans and in the food that we eat. We can get those toxins out of our body. We can make different choices on what we eat so that we can have an impact on the toxicity of the planet. If you're not buying commercially raised beef, if you're not buying personal care products that have toxins and chemicals in it that are being absorbed through your skin, you're not going to contribute to what's happening on the planet right now. And I believe that as we each individually take a stand and live in alignment with our values and our principles, that we can make a change on this planet. I believe and have an optimistic viewpoint that that things are gonna get better. Look at how much organic food we have available. Look at the internet. Look at the silver lining and the blessing of COVID that we've all connected now. Look how many people we have on this talk right now. It's a Wednesday night. A year ago, I would not have over 30 people on a talk about health and transforming your metabolism and burning fat. It's a different world. We can make a difference, but it starts with you. Okay, so toxins, hydrogenated fats, canola oil. I'll cover that more in detail, but bad fats, this is the cell. This is the cell on the screen. You have over 70 trillion cells in your body. Everything that happens in your body, when you wake up in the morning and you feel rested and happy because oxytocin's being released, that happens in the cell. When you pet your dog and you feel loved and relaxed, it's because oxytocin connected to this receptor and made a feel-good chemical so that you could feel good and feel happy and feel fulfilled. When you eat food and it gets broken down and put into the cell and you build proteins and new hair and new nails and new skin and new muscle, that happens in the cell. Everything happens in our cell. So if you don't get your cell well, you're not going to change how you feel and you're not going to change your future health. So bad fats get stuck in the membrane. The cellular membrane is made out of fat. It's 2 layers of fat. And the other thing that creates cellular inflammation, the cause of all disease, insulin resistance. See these little channels here? Those are receptors. When you have toxins stuck in your cell membrane, because toxins are fat soluble, so they're attracted to either your fat cells or the outside of the 70 to 100 trillion cells in your body, and they clog these pores and they gunk up these beautiful little receptors so that now when your sugar's high because you just ate a big plate of spaghetti and a piece of chocolate cake for dinner, and your sugar goes up and insulin's released from your pancreas, and insulin grabs the sugar and says, all right, we need to get into the cell. This inflamed toxic cell isn't working and the receptors are blunted and they're sick. The receptors are blunted and sick, and that's what causes insulin resistance. That's what leads to diabetes. So just take insulin and change it into any other hormone, thyroid hormone, Hashimoto's, autoimmune, leaky gut, everything happens in the cell. Sugar causes more inflammation and more problems than anything else. And of course, stress is the 4th cause of all disease. Physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress. So you must fix the cell to get well. Step 2, you got to clear out all the bad stuff. So we figured out the cause. Now we got to take out all the bad stuff. So all this processed food, all this dead food, what I like to call it, you got to clear it out. When you take out the bad stuff and you give the body the good stuff, miracles occur. I say this almost on a daily basis. It explains my program in one sentence. Taking out the bad stuff, giving the body the good stuff. But you don't know what the bad stuff is. And I didn't either 7 years ago. And I didn't know what my body needed. I didn't know what the good stuff is. And that's what I've discovered over the last 7 years. Pretty exciting. So if you want to create a brand new, beautiful garden, if you want to create a brand new, beautiful life, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, you got to take all the bad stuff out. We got to make room for the good. So that's the second step, just pulling all the junk out, pulling out the processed food, the toxic food, the artificial sweeteners, the sodas. And it might seem like, oh, I can't do that. I promise you, as we go through and I teach you the other steps, and I'm going to share with you different people that have gone through this program and how easy it is and how your body just starts changing so drastically within just 1 week of taking out the bad stuff and giving your body the good stuff. 1 week, your body starts rewarding you. How amazing is that? So when you create a blank canvas, this is what's possible. A new life is possible. Sleeping better is possible. Your thoughts change. Your skin clears up. You start to feel like and remember what it was like when you were in your 20s and 30s, because we've removed the causes, the toxins, the bad fats, the sugar, the stress. We've started to heal the cell. We've taken this cell from this dehydrated, shriveled up grape with receptors that are blunted and not working so that good stuff can't get in and bad stuff can't get out. And we start hydrating the cell and healing the cell so that you're able to heal from an inside out level. So when you don't eliminate, when your cells are dehydrated and not working properly, picture how many of you went to Big Bear over the winter. I did. Actually went to Big Bear with Jody and helped celebrate her 60th birthday. And when you're there in Big Bear and you're in this cabin and you have this beautiful fireplace and it's cold outside and it's snowing and you start this beautiful wood fire, what would happen if you didn't open up that flute? What would happen? Can you picture all the smoke and all the stuff that would just start pouring into the cabin? Everybody would be coughing, running outside. Some rare, courageous soul would try and get that flute back open in the fireplace. That's what happens in our body and our cells when they're dehydrated and inflamed and there's toxins stuck on the outside. All those toxins and all those waste products get stuck in your cell. And that's when genes turn on. That's when cancer happens. That's when autoimmune happens. That's when hormonal imbalances happen. All of these different things that just happen to us, you don't have to be a victim to those things. Because if you follow these 5 steps, figure out the cause, which we already talked about, take out all the bad stuff so that we can allow the body to do its thing and clean out. You don't have to be a victim. So it's kind of like, this is what's happened. Like when I was in my 20s and 30s and everyone on the call, it just kind of slowly started happening. Like all of a sudden you wake up one day and you look at your body and you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck happened to me? What happened? Like what happened to my tight skin and what happened to my, lean body with energy? What happened is it happened so slowly over time. You didn't realize that so much had occurred. Just like you put a frog in a pot of water and you slowly turn up the flame, as that water gets hotter and hotter and hotter, but very slowly, boom, the water is boiling, the frog perishes. And that's what has happened to us. We just haven't realized it. It's happened so slow. And human beings, our nature is denial, right? We deny what's really happening. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, this is just normal part of aging. Oh, I can't really bend my right knee, but yeah, this is all, I'm fine. I'll just get in and out of the car. I'll just use this other leg instead. I mean, we just make so many excuses because we're just trying to survive, right? So it doesn't matter how old you are. You're never too old to be a lost cause. So this is a client of mine, Dwayne. He was a professor at Orange Coast College for over 30 years. He taught graphic design. He came into our clinic. And even though at 88 years old, he was only 64 years old metabolically, going through our program, He actually went from 64 years old to 49 years old. When he first came in, we were so concerned. He was so confused. He had so much brain fog. We really did not think that he'd be able to go through the program, because just simple little things like, now, what was I supposed to eat? Now, how much water was I supposed to drink? He came in for the first visit. There's a first visit where we say, okay, here's what you do. Here's step 1, 2, and 3. And then we send you home. We have this amazing website launching on Wednesday, tomorrow. I'm launching a membership site tomorrow for all of our remote clients and local clients. He came in for that first visit like 4 times, but slowly but surely, as his body cleaned out and as we got him into fat burning and we turned on autophagy, which I'm going to talk about in a second, autophagy, he became a brand new person, sharp as a tack, mental clarity. It was amazing. Step 3. What is different about what we do is we ask your body using bioenergetic testing, science-based. We ask your body over 2,800 different questions on what's going on. We customize an eating program for you, a nutrition program for you, a detoxification program for you. I know it sounds like all these things, but as Jody said earlier before we started, it's like, it's so simple. It's just step by step by step. You just lock arms with us. You say, you know what? I want to feel better. I don't want to age. I don't want to end up like my parents. Yes, I want to lock arms with you. I want to join the tribe. We are going to customize a program for you and your biochemistry. No one else does that. So it's in differentiation, not uniformity, lies the path of progress. So if everyone just gets the same thing, we're not all the same. With males and females and 25-year-olds and 70-year-olds and 13-year-olds, and we've got people that are cancer survivors. We've got people with lupus and autoimmune. We're all different. We all need different things, but your body knows what it needs. And we have the technology that we use either remotely in your own home. We can test you for the Washington DCers and the New Jerseyers and the Baltimore, Maryland. We can give you all the support and all the testing and take you through this amazing transformation in your health and in your energy and in your thoughts and in your spiritual journey, remotely, virtually, in your own home. You don't have to meet us in person. And that's kind of what COVID did, is it fast forward what I've been wanting to do for a long time. So it was a blessing for me. So you can't get everything you need in the grocery store. Food is not enough anymore. Why isn't food enough anymore? Because they did studies. The United States government did studies in 1950. And they looked at one bowl of spinach and they measured the amount of iron in one bowl of spinach. And then in 1990, 40 years later, they looked at how many milligrams of spinach were in one bowl from 1950 to 1990. Guess how many bowls, throw it in the chat room, you needed to get 40 years later in 1990, which is now 30 years ago. So I'm sure it's much worse now. How many bowls of spinach did you need in 1990 to get the same amount of iron that was in one bowl of spinach from 1950? Who knows the answer? That's not a client of mine. How many bowls? Let's see what you guys are saying here. Chat. How many bowls? 30, 50? Janice. 18. So maybe now it's probably at least double. So maybe now 30. So you're going to get all the nutrition. Our bodies, our cells need iron and zinc and selenium and vitamin A and vitamin B. And there's so many nutrients in our foods that we haven't even discovered yet. But you cannot get everything that you need from your food. So we specialize in providing nutrients, supplements that are herb and concentrated food based, things that have been growing out of the ground, so that we can support you nutritionally like you've never been supported before. So we customize your program based on biomarkers. This is the technology we use. So if you want to look it up, if you're taking notes, that's awesome. I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you. This is, in my opinion, life-saving, life-transforming information. Remember Michelle that I introduced earlier in the program? Do you think that she feels like her life has been saved? She's not in stage 3 kidney failure anymore. She's not a diabetic anymore. She's off of all of her medications. She got her life back. So Zyto, ZYTO.com. There's tons of videos that explain the technology. It's super cool. It's the future of medicine. It's energetic testing. It's what Deepak Chopra talked about when he talked about energy. It's what Einstein talked about when he talked about energy. It's the things that we can't see. Western medicine is stuck in Newtonian physics. If I can see it and feel it and test it and measure it, then it's real. If I can't see it, it's not real. We all know energetically, how many times have you been thinking about somebody that you love and care about, and they call you or they text you? We are energetic beings. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience on this planet. This is energetic testing. It's very accurate. It's very far-reaching. It's amazing. So let's talk about Pam. Here's a client of mine, one of my first clients in 2014. She was on Synthroid because of an underactive thyroid for 26 years. Her husband spent $6,000 on a personal trainer for her because she was retiring from USC. She'd been a software specialist. She wasn't feeling her best. She's got brand new grandchildren, 3 boys. She's like, I want to feel good. I want to be able to travel with my husband. I want to be able to go to Panama and Hawaii. And she just didn't feel like physically she was going to be able to do that for very much longer. So 6 months of $6,000 of personal training, way less money than you're going to spend in my 12-month program. No change. She came back. She looks even better now. This was just after her first round. So we do a 12-month coaching program that allows you to go through these multiple detoxification, healing, hormone balancing, cellular healing rounds. She went to her doctor. She'd been on Synthroid for 26 years. She went to her doctor after that first round. And she looked at all of her blood work and she's like, oh, awesome. Your thyroid numbers look amazing. The medication's working. And Pamela said, I stopped that medication about 6 months ago. I went through this program and I haven't been on that medication for 6 months now. And the doctor was like, what? Like, what program is this? So isn't that amazing? That can happen with you too. Are you on any medication? Raise your hand if you're comfortable. Tell me. Raise your hand if you're on medication right now. Look at this, everybody. We've got 30 people on the call. I already have 10 people raising their hand saying that they're on medication. Raise your hand if you don't want to be on that medication, or if you believe that your body's healthy enough and smart enough that you don't need to be on that medication. All right, step 4, we're almost done. It was awesome. I know we got started late, but I think we're still doing really good on time because we got started about 15 minutes late. I wanted to be done talking at 7, but 7:15 with the late start, a little technological glitch there in the beginning. Okay, so step 4, this is where the magic happens. This is where I get to talk to you about autophagy. Your body was designed to heal and repair itself, but it needs your help in creating an environment to allow the healing to happen. So how do we get you into this amazing healing mode? Let me go back. How do we get you into this amazing healing mode? We get you into fat burning, which turns on autophagy, self-eating, which allows the body to clean up cellular debris, turn off cancer genes, detoxify your body, get rid of the causes, toxins, bad fats. We've already taken all the junk out of your diet. And then we want to teach you about stress reduction as well. but your body won't heal if we can't get you into fat burning. And that's why I changed the name of this talk to how to burn fat. Not just reset your metabolism, but really the whole premise behind this program over the next 12 months is we are going to teach your body how to burn fat for fuel. Because right now, most of you, unless you're a client of mine, your body is stuck in sugar burning. If you eat sugar and carbs, your body's going to release insulin, why we get sick, and you're going to store fat because insulin is one of the top fat storage hormones in the body. So we need to teach your mitochondria, which are the little organelles in your cells, how to burn fat for fuel instead of sugar. How do we do that? By customizing your program, by taking sugar and carbs out, by supporting you nutritionally, by giving you this entire customized list of proteins and meats and vegetables and fruits that you can eat so that your body can start balancing the hormones and detoxifying, and you just start effortlessly dropping fat, but not unhealthy weight loss, where you lose water and muscle, but weight loss where you actually burn fat. Turn on your brain, because when you burn fat, you produce ketones. This is not keto. This is customized for your body. This is keto and paleo and vegetarian and carnivore. It's fasting and feasting and famining. It's all of it. It's diet variation. It's spending 12 months of you figuring out what makes your body tick. How can your body heal? How do we get your energy back? How do we reverse these things that have been happening in your body for the last 20, 30, 40 years? Are you going to put junk in your body? If you have this amazing, beautiful, expensive race car that says octane 91 and above only, are you going to put 89 in your Porsche or in your Mercedes? No. But how much more important are our bodies? That we put the junk that we put into our bodies, because we've just gotten addicted to sugar and carbs, and we're so out of balance and so out of whack. We don't know any better, and our body's giving us cravings for things that aren't good for it because you're just so out of whack right now. We can change that. We can teach your body how to burn fat for fuel instead of sugar. Cancer cells are fueled and grow and multiply with sugar. Cancer cells have more insulin receptors on them than our normal cells. So if you're stuck in sugar burning, if your body's out of whack, if you're turning on disease genes like thyroid disease, Hashimoto's, Alzheimer's, cancer, etc., your body's in sugar burning mode. You're a sugar burner. And your metabolism slows down, and your cells get really sick and inflamed and dehydrated. And that fire in that cabin is out of control. And it's just putting all this smoke and these ash and all these waste products are just accumulating in your body, and your liver and your intestinal tract and your kidneys are so overwhelmed. And of course, things are going to start breaking down. Of course. But we can change all of that. Mark, this is my buddy Mark. A year and a half ago, he came into my office at 324 pounds. He also was a fellow sugar addict, food addict, turned to food when things got hard emotionally. And I know a lot of us do that, and it's okay. You're stuck in sugar burning. He was on thyroid medication, high cholesterol medication, high blood pressure medication. September of 2019. In a year's time, this happened. This was actually one round. This is 50 pounds in the first 60 days. He looks like a different person. The guy in the blue shirt, who looks amazing compared to the guy in the green shirt, you should see him now. And guess what? If you live locally, you can see him in my clinic, because his life was transformed to such a degree that he wanted to come in and support people and do old school phone calls. So he'll call you and say, hey, how are you doing? Janice, how is it going? How can I support you? How'd you do this week? Oh, you've been struggling with this? Hey, let's try this. So he loves to get on the phone with people that want to get on the phone. Some of us don't. And if you don't, you've got me through texting. You've got my health coaches through Zoom. You can come into the clinic. We've got so many ways to support you. We have the website launching tomorrow. All of my videos over the last year, over 50 educational training videos on every aspect of the program are in one place. Fifth step. We have now come to the end. Now the step is, are you going to commit to a transformation? Do you want something different? If any of this resonates with you, are you going to let fear stand in your way? Or are you going to stay on the call and listen to some of my clients who have gone just like you, that couldn't control their eating beforehand? Because you might look at me and go, well, Dr. CJ, she's different. You know, she's a doctor, and yeah, she's made this transformation, but I'm not at that level. Like, I don't have that kind of commitment like a doctor. You don't have to be at my level. We have taken thousands of people, a couple thousand people through this program successfully. It works for the average person. We will lock arms with you. We will support you. You don't have to do this by yourself. You can make some of these changes by yourself and lose some weight and get healthy. But we all need a coach. We all need a guide. So 3.5 years ago, we used to offer this program for $2,200 for a 40-day program. Diabetics got off of medications, high blood pressure was gone. People were willing to pay $2,000 to reverse these disease processes, and they would drop 20, 30, 40 pounds. But 2.5 years ago, it's like, I don't want to just feed people a bunch of fish. I don't want to just throw fish at you all the time. And if I'm not there constantly throwing the fish in your direction, you're going to fall off the boat and drown. No, I want to teach you and give you the tools to empower you so that you don't have to be a victim. And over a 12-month coaching period, you can figure out how your body responds. What's the best way for you to eat? Maybe higher carbs better for you. Maybe almonds make you gain weight, but macadamia nuts make you lose weight. Maybe broccoli gives you gas. Maybe spinach supports your body. So much of the value of the program is taking the journey. Isn't that what it's all about anyway? It's not about the end result. It's not about, reaching that goal. The only thing we have is right now, April 27th, 2021, 7:10 p.m. we have right now. Are you present right now? Are you in touch with your body? Are you listening to my words? Are you feeling the energy of the belief that I have, that I know you can have a different and a better life? Everything I do, the reason I'm here right now is because I don't want you to suffer. I don't want you to be frustrated and to go through life feeling like you're stuck, that things are just going to continue to get worse. You can change that. There's so many options available. So this is why other programs don't work. And this is not a weight loss program, but if you were just comparing it, which it's not, but other programs, it's packaged food, which is why people are getting sick in the first place. Everybody goes through the same program. It's not sustainable. When you lose weight by starving yourself and you don't support your body nutritionally, please listen. And you're not burning fat for fuel. And I know you've never done that. Your metabolism slows down, your cells get more dehydrated. And when you're done, you might have lost a little bit of weight, but your metabolism is older and slower when you're done. And that's why the yo-yo, the up and down, or you'll lose weight and then you end up gaining even more back because you slowed your metabolism down. This program, the Buddha Vida Transformation System, everything is the exact opposite. Your metabolism speeds up. You get younger inside. You gain healthy cellular water. You lose body fat. We don't touch your muscle. The biological clock is reversed. Disease processes reverse. So all of these programs, it's just diet and exercise, or a personal trainer like Pam, exercise and exercise. Or I've had many clients that have actually had bariatric surgery, the sleeve, or different things like that. And those are some of the clients that I need to work with personally, but you still get great results on this program. So if you want to heal your body on a cellular level, if you want to get into fat burning, if you want to support your body nutritionally, lose weight, gain healthy cellular water, learn how to make permanent lifestyle changes, you don't have to do this alone. Doing it on your own leads to failure, frustration. I played basketball for many years. My good buddy Chris is on the call. She knows Chris, could we have taken second in state that second year if we didn't have a coach? If we all just showed up at practice and tried to do it on our own, would we have been as good as we were? No. We all need guidance and direction. Maybe health and nutrition and food and healing and reversing disease is not your passion. It's my passion. I live it and I breathe it every day. The people that are closest to me know it. I work constantly because I love what I do. But if this isn't your passion, but you're not happy where you are right now, let us help you. Let my guidance and my expertise and my journey benefit you by saying, you know what, I do need help. And I know it's hard. So I understand right now, as I end this talk, that every single one of you all have the freedom to make a choice about your health. Every single one of you. You have the freedom to choose. But imagine for a moment, I want you to think about it. If you're in a place where you can, hopefully you've taken all the distractions out so you could make use of this time. Close your eyes and just think about not taking a step today. Like, okay, that sounds pretty good, but I don't know. That just seems like way too good to be true. I'm not ready. I'm fine. I'll be able to figure things out on my own. Imagine 6 months from now, you have even less energy. You're even heavier. You're still on the same medications. Do you want to be in that place and have that regret of not taking the step today? It's your choice. But then I also ask you to imagine, so either having the regret, wouldn't you regret it if you looked back, knowing that you could have done something today? Or close your eyes if you can and think about 12 months from now, 2022, 22, my favorite number. A year from now, 60, 70, 100 pounds down, no more medications, 30 years old metabolically, you feel like $1 million because you took that step and you decided to love yourself enough and nurture yourself enough to make a change because you're not happy with where you are. What is that going to feel like 12 months from now? Like when I started, I was a size 14, had to take naps every day. I was so depressed. My relationships were awful, and now amazing, beautiful relationships, loving, spiritual, energetic, positive people in my life. I love my life now. What if I hadn't have taken that step 7 years ago? I can't even imagine where I'd be right now. I don't even want to think about it. I'm just so blessed. And I'm just so blessed that I can share this information with you. So that's why I developed the Puttabhi, the transformation system. Let me tell you what it's not. It's not a get healthy quick. It's not a diet, a fad. It's not a short-term fix. Hopefully by now I've shared enough information with you. You realize that it's a 12-month coaching program. It is a lifestyle change. It's not starving yourself into submission. It's not eating a bunch of box food that you have to buy at our clinic or order a bunch of packaged shakes. It's not starving yourself. It's not any of that. This is what it is. It's a true cellular healing program. It's customized for your body. It's anti-aging, fat burning. It's proven on science. It works every time. I've never had a client come in that followed the program, that stayed connected with us, that didn't have an amazing change. So if you're sitting here thinking, well, it might work for Dr. CJ, it might work for Michelle or for Mark or for Pam, but it's not going to work for me. It works. If you're a human being and if you're alive and you're willing to take that step, it works. It's a long-term permanent solution. It's a guided lifestyle change. You can expect to eat whole, real foods that you buy at the grocery store. You're not going to be hungry because when you're burning fat for fuel instead of sugar, your body has constant, steady blood sugar levels. When you're burning fat for fuel instead of sugar, you're producing ketones, which heal the brain and activate your brain and turn on your brain. You're releasing less insulin. So now you don't have the cortisol. You don't have all of these hormones that make you depressed and tired and angry. Instead, you have all these amazing hormones like dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin and these healing hormones that make your body feel good and young. And you're going to lose every 40-day round. And you can go through 4 rounds total in a 12-month period, maybe even a little more than that if you're super studious. An average of 20 pounds every round. So if you have 80 pounds to lose, you're going to lose that in a year's time. If you have 20 pounds to lose, you're going to lose that in the first 40 days. And then we're going to spend the next 8 or 9 months teaching you how to eat healthy for life, how to vary your diet, how to have high carb days, how to be able to go out and splurge and drink and make brownies and all kinds of cool stuff. So when we partner together, you have an entire team of support behind you. We show you every step along the way, daily support and accountability, no matter where you live, daily support and accountability. Every single client has my personal cell phone number, and you have access to me via text, and you text your weight in every day, and we have the membership site, all the things that I've already talked about. So the power of coaching is you don't get to hide. We fast track your results, and we give you a step-by-step approach. So let me ask you this. So many times when people are thinking about investing in their health, they think about, well, how much is it going to cost? Raise your hand if you're thinking about right now, how much does this cost? Like, this sounds really amazing. I'd love to take the next 12 months of my life and in 2022 in April have a completely different body and a completely different mindset, completely different emotional health, spiritual path. Raise your hand. How much is this going to cost? But a better question is, what are you going to gain? We spend so much time thinking about what's it going to cost? What are you going to gain over the next 12 months? And it doesn't cost as much as you think. It's not like a $13,000 program like my client Elaine almost did to reverse her diabetes, and she came to me instead. It's not $6,000 of personal training over 6 months. It's a 12-month in-depth coaching and nutrition and health transformation program. Ask what you're going to gain. So ask yourself, where do you want to be a year from now? Where do you want to be for a year from now? And these are everyday normal people. Mark was a food addict. Pam was on Synthroid medication for 26 years, couldn't get a handle of her weight, just kept gaining and gaining and gaining. Michelle was on 8 different medications, full-blown diabetic and stage 3 kidney failure. These people are not any different than you. They don't have any more willpower than you. So now you have a choice. And this is my invitation for you. I'm inviting you to join the Pura Vida Transformation System and begin your healing journey today. What is it? It's a 12-month roadmap to healthy life, metabolism, disease reversal, sleeping better. So what is it worth? What is my program worth? The value of my program, it's a $10,000 12-month program. 12 months of coaching, you have direct access to me. That's $3,600 in value. We do at least 4 Zyto bioscans a year, usually more than that, $600 a scan. That's $2,400 value. You have weekly either in-clinic or remote Zoom calls where the video will be turned on so you can see me or Coach Teresa or Coach Gladio or any other health coach. That's $1,200. The first 40-day round that you're going to go through, which is your first step, all of the nutrients and everything you need to get started is included. And every time you go through a new round, every couple of months, every quarter, you're going to drop 20, 40 pounds, and you're going to be 20 to 30 to 40 years younger metabolically every 40-day round that you go through. And then we include the wellness program. So it's a $10,000 value. But we charge an enrollment fee of $2,200 and 12-month membership fee of $99 a month. But wait, there's more. No, Jody's group and all the other people on the call, I wanted to make sure that I offered you something very, very special. And I told you at the beginning of the talk that if you stay till the end, that I had a special gift for you. So what I am willing to do to help financially, because I know with everything that we've been through the last year, sometimes money is an issue. I don't want money to be a reason that you don't say yes and take this step and make a change. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take $500 off of the price. I know that's a lot, but I think you guys are worth it. I think you deserve it. So if you start the program and sign up for the program, this is the link. And would one of you be willing to post that link? Just type it in for me in the chat room. Raise your hand if you'd be willing to type that into the chat room. The link. That link will allow you to go in and claim the $500 savings. This is only going to be offered for the next few days. So Friday night at midnight, the $500 off ends. And then if you decide to come into the program, maybe a month from now, 6 months from now, it'll be the $22.97 enrollment fee, which covers everything that I said. I want to say this as well. If you click on that link, did somebody post the link for me? If you click on that link, you have two options. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate that, Diane. Thank you so much. When you click on that link, because I'm sure some of you are probably clicking on the link now, that's awesome. Maybe some of you are going to be signing up in a few days. That's awesome too. But I want to tell you one more story while you're signing up for the program. And then I do want to offer one other thing too. If there's anything getting in your way of taking that step right now, of saving that $500 and signing up for the program, please, I'm going to put my phone number in the chat box, because I want you, if there's any hesitation, if you're ready to go, please click on the link. Let's get you scheduled. It's going to take you to a scheduling so you can schedule the first consultation, whether it's remote. All of your answers will be, all of your questions will be answered, but let me give you my text number because I want to give you one more option. I don't want you to feel pressured. Either this resonates with you and feels right for you or it doesn't. If it does, go for it. I promise you, you won't regret it. I promise you. But for whatever reason, and I'm going to open this up for questions in a second, but I want to post my cell number so that you can text me. And if we need to schedule a little discovery call, I'm more than willing to do that. That's my cell number. Okay. Now I want to tell you one more story as you're signing up and moving forward and making a change. And then I want to have some people share their experiences in the next couple of minutes. So the story that I want to share with you is about wishes. So there was this family, and every year when it was somebody's birthday, if they were turning 20, let's say, that person would have 20 wishes on their birthday. So they'd buy this big chocolate cake and everybody would come and celebrate together as a family, and they'd eat the chocolate cake. And if you were turning 20, you'd have 20 wishes and you'd be able to state your wishes to everyone in the family. If you were turning 30, you have 30 wishes. So one year, the father of this family, he was turning 40, and they all got together and they had the cake, and he had 40 wishes. So he's like, okay, wish number one, I want a Ferrari. I want a Ferrari. And everyone in the family was like, yeah. And wish number two, I want to take the whole family to Europe on vacation. They're like, yeah. Wish number three, I want to write a book this year. 40 years old, I want to write a book this year. And he went through and made these 40 wishes. The next year, he turned 41, and they all got together. And they were all ready for him to have these 41 wishes. And they were all waiting. And he said, this year, I only have one wish. And that's to get my health back. Their father had been faced with a cancer diagnosis. So when you have your health, you have many wishes. It's true. But when you don't have your health, you only have one. Isn't that the truth? So it's my goal that you and your family, people that you love and care about, have as many wishes as possible. And I can't wait to make your wish come true by getting your health back. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I want to open it up. I know I've got some people here, specifically Kia and Thomasina. They're clients of mine. If you're still on the call, I would love you to hang out just for a couple more minutes. I want you to hear other people's stories, not just mine. So raise your hand if you want to share your experience with the Pura-Vida transformation system. Is Kia on the call? Actually, let's start with Tanisha. Tanisha, hi, how are you?
I'm great, and yourself?
Excellent.
So I am. I'm like just in awe of this program. I have to tell you, I started the program at the end of January of this year, and I'm 49 years old. I have an 18-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son. And quite frankly, it was hard for me to walk around the mall without my lower back hurting. I just had so much weight on me, and I got to a point where I was like, I really need to do something about this. And when I started, I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be hungry? I mean, I'm eating just lunch and dinner. There is no breakfast, which I was used to eating. And although I didn't eat a lot, what I was putting in my body before was all bad stuff, everything that you mentioned before, plus pizza and everything else. Mm-hmm. And then I started this, and then I'm very much into taste. Like, food has to taste good to me, or I'm not going to eat, or I won't like it. I'm just picky that way. Yeah. And so I started this, and then that delicious Hawaiian salt that you guys give us on everything. And yeah. I didn't feel hungry at all. I didn't feel hungry at all. And I was shocked. Like, I'm not hungry. How is that possible that I'm eating, a lot less calories, and I'm not hungry? Right. So I just kept going through the process, and every week I was meeting with Coach Teresa, who's fantastic, by the way. She is just like an inspiration to me. And we would talk about what happened that week, or what I was doing, or how I was feeling, and how my feelings and the way I was feeling very much is a part of the weight loss journey, which I never realized before. Because when I got into it, it was strictly about weight loss. But now I'm learning more about myself and learning more about what water can do, what the visceral fat. I remember going to you, and you said, wow, your visceral fat is, that of a male's. I haven't seen a female's like this before. And so, I lost, one tick of that visceral fat went down today, when I went to weigh in, and I was like, yes. Right.
So Tanisha, you just started in this January?
Yes. The end of January.
January
40
2021.
Yes,
And how much weight have you lost?
42 pounds.
Wow. And you're following the program, right?
Absolutely, to a T. There's no
Yeah.
reason for me not to.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, I'm trusting
What's
the
your,
process is simple.
so you're enjoying the support. It's a journey, like all the things that I said. Anything that you would say to somebody that's listening right now, because we have a lot of people on the call where they're like, I don't think I can do this. Like Tanisha's got more willpower than I do.
No willpower here at all. Let me tell you, I would smell something and have to go get it. But on I mean, we've had several birthday parties in our family, and I was telling Coach Teresa this. It does, for some reason, I don't crave what I craved before. Things taste different to me now. I don't need to slather on a sauce to make something taste good. My taste buds have changed. And I don't know if I told you this, I'm sleeping better at night. And my husband says I stopped snoring too. So,
Yes.
you know.
That, by the way, that happens a lot. Everybody on the call still, snoring happens a lot where people stop snoring. And it's not just because of all the weight loss, it's just your body's functioning better.
Yes. I'm just,
Awesome.
yep, I'm excited.
Thank you so
yes.
much for coming on the call. I know I'm sure you're busy and you're already a client and you didn't need to come on. And thank you so much for supporting us and wanting to help other people make that decision. That really means a lot to me. And I know it means a lot to everybody on the call as well. Thanks, Tanisha.
Thank you. It really works. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Kia. Let me see. Kia. Make sure I can unmute you. Where are you? Kia. Chris is still on the line. Heather, Chantel, Carol, Kia. There you are.
Yes. Hi. Can everybody hear me?
Hi, sweetheart. Yes.
Hi.
I wish I could see you. How come I can see Susan?
I don't know. Can't see where I can put my video on.
Susan figured it out. Hi, Susan.
Oh, that's crazy. But I will say, I want to start. I want to, make sure to honor everybody's time. But
yes,
my name is Kia, and I have been working with Dr. CJ since September of last year. And I will try to keep this as short as I can. I too have struggled with food addiction since I was a child. Up and down, where I was almost 300 pounds. And I lost it probably in the early 2000s and was able to keep it off, except for maybe pregnancy. And I've had a few relapses. The most notable relapse was last year, where I was trying to find out what was wrong with my thigh. And I had gotten a cancer diagnosis. Remember in the webinar when Dr. CJ mentioned that sugar feeds cancer cells. Well, I think that I must have fed the biggest, like all of the cancer cells, like all the sugar in the world, because I had a football-sized tumor in my thigh.
Yeah.
And in the process of finding out what was going on with me diagnostically, I ate everything that was not nailed down. I did. And I gained about 50 pounds in a very short period of time. When I went into the hospital to have my surgery, I said, let me go on and try to kick the sugar thing, because I'm not going to be able to do this in the hospital. And I was okay with that. And I got off the sugar, and then like 20 pounds was gone just like that.
Wow.
However, I got to a place where I was like 185 pounds, and I just could not, it didn't matter what I did. I could not lose the weight. It didn't matter how much I exercised. And given that, I just had surgery, I couldn't exercise a ton, but didn't matter what I ate. I just could not lose the weight. Now, I didn't come to this program because I saw a webinar. I happened to be vacationing with the wonderful Dr. CJ and had no idea what she did for a living. So we're just out, people in the world, vacationing. And, I'm kind of explaining to her that, I was really tired of my weight. I just was eating what it was. I couldn't seem to lose the weight. And then she says, well, as a matter of fact, this happens to be what I do for a living. So we kind of got into this conversation. And, I asked her, she explained, the program, not as much in as much detail as she's done here, but she explained it to me. And I said, so are you telling me that if I do every single thing you're saying that it will work?
And you were so skeptical.
I'm telling you, Kia, if you do everything I'm telling you to do, it will work. Yeah. And it absolutely worked. So I started at about 185 and I'm now down to 140. and struggling to keep it at 140. My metabolism is just on auto drive, but that's not the best thing. The best thing is that my food addiction is gone. My food addiction is gone. Normally, I'm the one who's on vacation. I can't eat what everybody's eating because if I do eat those things, I am on a bender like you wouldn't even believe. I'm on a bender. I went to
Yeah.
Hawaii 2 weeks ago and I was able to eat like a normal person. I mean, I didn't have to do anything crazy. And I came back, I had a couple of pounds that I gained from the trip just because I was eating a little different than I normally do. But
Yeah.
then within a day or two, my weight was back to normal. It it is a program for life, and it is a commitment that you make to yourself. And while this was expensive, I'm not going to say that this wasn't expensive. It was worth every penny to have a normal life and not be a slave to food, not be worried about how to keep my weight down, not be preoccupied by the mental obsession that was me prior to coming into this program. So for
Yeah.
anyone who has any doubts, any uncertainty about, whether or not, and I'm just a regular Joe, I'm a regular person. Really, there's nothing special about me, but it is a commitment. And either you are investing in your health or you're investing in your illness. And I want to invest in my health.
Wow.
So
Repeat that.
you are either investing in your health or you're investing in your illness.
That's a good point. Wow.
And illness is expensive. So I would much rather invest in the supplements that are going to keep me rocking and rolling until I'm 90 years old and surfing and all of that stuff. That is my soapbox. I will get off it now, but thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Next destination, surfing in Costa Rica.
Yes.
Diane's asking a bunch of questions. Kia, thank you so much. I want Coach Teresa to get on the line, and then I want to answer Diane's questions. If any of you have any more questions, or if you're ready to sign up, just click on the link. We'll send the replay out. We'll send an email out to give you an opportunity to click on the link later. So I know it's late. Stay on if you want to stay on. That's awesome. I'll be here as long as we need to answer questions. But if you need to go, please don't feel like you're missing out on anything. We're going to send you an email. You'll have the opportunity to sign up anytime between now and Friday night midnight. So the $500 off ends Friday night midnight, and we'll give you every opportunity to do that. Or you can text me and schedule a discovery call with me. I'll get on a Zoom call with you, face-to-face, eye-to-eye, answer any questions that you have. I'm going to allow Coach Teresa, she's one of our amazing coaches in the office, to share her experience. And then Diane, I know you asked a few questions. I want to answer those as well, Diane Kramer. And anyone else that has questions, please raise your hand and let me know. And I want to make sure that everybody is heard. And then Jody, if you want to add anything, that's awesome too. Coach Teresa. What? Life is good.
Face, right?
Life is so amazing.
Oh my God.
We're so blessed and lucky that we get to help people like this.
Oh my God. So can I just give some big cheers out to every single person that's listening today?
Yes.
We've all heard the example of a drop of water in a pond and how ripple effects make a difference. And you never know how your ripple effect will affect other people. Mm-hmm. And so as I'm listening to this call, and I've had the pleasure of working with Dr. CJ for over a year now, and what is a gift for me is when I get to share with people this program and how much time that Dr. CJ has invested in it. And she's a total geek as far as science. So you're not getting anything that's fluffy. It's all science-based. But the beautiful thing is that so much of us have spent time trying to do the right thing. I have a daughter, three daughters. I'm an athletic person. I'm a personal trainer. I've trained for marathons, bodybuilding, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I had about an 80% efficiency in knowing things. And I love what I do. But let me tell you, as soon as I moved to California about a year and a half ago, and Dr. CJ and I met, And she said, okay, you can work for me, but you have to go through my program because you can't be a coach if you don't know what we do. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to show these Buddha Vita people how it's done. And
Who
let
to
me
be the
tell you,
people
yeah. And what I think
with your
is,
personal training and exercise background.
oh yeah, I've been 20 years training folks. I'm a nationally certified trainer. You know, most days I look good. However, the last 2 years, I had some personal issues and so forth, and my sugar intake was out of control. Whether it's popcorn, beer, pasta, bread, whatever. And I just thought, well, I'm a trainer. I'll just exercise this away because that's what I've always done. You know, and what's funny, when I met Dr. CJ, our backgrounds are very similar. We both ate 5-6 times a day. We're both athletes. And that's just what you learn. And we're clean plate clubbers. You know, you just eat everything on your plate and you eat bread and blah, blah. Anyway, so I got to a point where I had this Michelin tire around my waist. And when you're a trainer and you're trying to make money training other people and they see this tire around your belly, that's not a great thing. And I was feeling very bad and a little hopeless. Like, what do I do with this? And frustrated that I should know better. Maybe I'm not working hard enough. Maybe I don't have the motivation. Maybe.
Yeah.
And what's great is, just like, and I use this analogy all the time. In fact, Tanisha and I were just talking about this today. You know, when you know a really good plumber, you want to tell all your friends.
Yeah.
Because you just want truth. You just want the path of least resistance to get where we want to go. And the greatest joy in my life, other than my 3 daughters, is knowing that this truth that Dr. CJ found out for herself 6-7 years ago, that I found for myself a year ago, is that it is available to you. And I encourage every one of you to put your courage in your hand and be willing to listen to the wisdom of not only Dr. CJ, but these wonderful clients that we have that, you know, they were just at a turning point. They're like, there's got to be a better way. I've got to be able to figure it out. I'm going to take a chance. I tried Nutrisystem, Noom. I tried starving myself. I tried lemon, blah, blah, grapefruit diets, whatever.
Right.
I just wish someone would tell me the freaking truth.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, that because I'm a science-based person, if it doesn't make sense to me science-based, I will not coach you.
Yeah.
And what's beautiful is that when you step into it, when you lean into it and you say, okay, I'm willing to consider the fact that the way I've been doing things is just not working. And if you're willing to say, you know what, I'm going to put my trust into the science of this program, you will be amazed before you're halfway through. And again, it's so wonderful that both Kia and Tanisha are on the call, because they have been clients that, and I have to tell you, they're A+ clients. They do what we ask them to do. And not that either of them haven't ever stumbled before,
Right.
but they came into it with this open-mindedness, this willingness, and a little bit of, what the hell, everything else I've tried hasn't worked. Let's try, but a willingness to say, I'm going to give it my A+ effort.
Yep.
And that's what makes my every second, every moment being involved with this program. I love coming to work because of what I do. And so I invite you to be brave enough to lean into the idea that there's so much misinformation out there. There's a lot of confusing information out there, and that there is truth and simplicity in this program.
Okay, with that said, I want you to help me answer a few questions. Thank
Absolutely.
you, by the way.
Yep.
Diane wants to know quickly, because we got about 8 or 9 questions.
Yep.
Fire them off. Meal prep for the program. What's it like?
So meal prep. So when on Sunday night, I cook about 2 or 3 things. So, and my wife's a really good cook, so I can't take all the credit. We'll make like shrimp. We'll make a hamburger meal or something, and then we put it in a little Tupperware things. And I'll take one for lunch one day, maybe something different for dinner. And so you do your work on Saturday, Sunday, or whatever your day off is. And once you get the idea of, hey, simple meats,
Hmm.
simple vegetables, two
Yeah.
fruit, and water, whoop-de-doo, that's it.
Yeah.
And you get into that rhythm, it's good.
Yeah. So for me, meal prep's super quick on the program. During the first stage, I just throw in some protein.
Yep.
Someone asked about vegetarian. Yes, we've got many vegetarian options. I personally am leaning more towards vegetarian. That's a whole nother story. I saw the documentary Seaspiracy. Don't see it if you want to continue to eat fish. But anyway, for me, it's super quick. You just throw protein, whatever it is, whether it's vegetarian protein or some grass-fed beef, and you throw some vegetables in a pan and some of the sauces that we have at the clinic, or you can buy online with no sugar, no oil. And it takes 5 to 10 minutes to make a salad or to cook a meal. It's very easy as far as meal prep. Next question, what are the kinds of products that you have to give up? Products with toxins, products that are making you sick. We want most processed packaged foods out, and then we replace those with healthy oils and stevia as a sweetener instead of sucralose. And we've got tons of products that you can buy online, or you can buy them in our clinic, or we can ship them to you. So anything else, Teresa, on the kinds of products that you have to give up?
I think with the biggest things, and the older I get, the ashier I feel, and I'm Caucasian, I feel ashy, but my Black girlfriends say, oh, I'm not giving up my oils
Mm-hmm.
because, that's part of my beauty routine.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, you're right. There are some things that are going to be different for you to change.
But
But
temporarily, it's not
it's
forever.
very temporary, very temporary. Your first round, it's 40 days, it's 40 days. And after that, then you can go back to your hair care products and so forth. But I equate it this way: giving up the oils, giving up certain foods or whatever it's like, I have a job. I want to clean out the garage. I got a bunch of crap in my garage.
Yeah.
Well, if I want to park my Mercedes in the garage, I got to get the crap out, right?
Yeah.
And so crap out is your oils and the chips and the shit that hurt your body. So let's
and all the chemicals.
Right. Let's take a little bit of time, get the crap out of your garage,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can park your Mercedes in. Not going to take any time at all. 40 days. Yeah.
Yeah, 40 days. Okay, next question. I kind of answered this. I'd like to know how the program works with a vegan diet. Do you want to comment on that at all?
Only that, I will tell you, we do have a carb allowance. And so if you're vegan or vegetarian and you appreciate, for those of you who love Forks Over Knives, that movie, give a little thumbs up,
Yeah.
this push for plant-based protein, fantastic. I will
Mhm.
tell you that your weight loss may be a tad slower
Yeah,
than someone who eats fish or beef, but we can get you there, and we stay true to your values.
absolutely.
Right.
And I just found this amazing vegetarian restaurant in Long Beach, and I had a tempeh bowl with sesame seeds, tahini dressing, broccoli, zucchini. It was phenomenal. So there's tons of vegetarian options.
We will absolutely work with you on this.
And then Barbara wants to know, how do you do the remote biometrics to customize your plan? So where do you live, Barbara? And we've got Teresa. I don't know if you came on the call originally, but about half of the people on the call are from different parts of the country: New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Maryland.
Mhm.
I was
Yep.
shocked at how many people we had across the United States. So how
Yep.
do we do remote testing?
So you get me. So Zoom has become such a big part of our life. And I was really bucking Dr. CJ initially. I'm like, we can't do this over the phone or Zoom because it's not personal, it's not one-on-one. But now that I, Zoom call my children every week, I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of part of our culture now. So every week, so not only the first time that you join up, Dr. CJ and I are with you, but every week we communicate to you in a mode that makes sense to you. Some people just want a phone call. I personally like Zoom so I can see your face. But the point is connection. And, you know, it's funny that both Kia and Tanisha are on this call because that was something that was really important to both of them, is that connection, that personal connection. And I will promise you that every remote client that we meet with um, feels that touch point, feels that connection. And I think it's better now because of the whole COVID environment, because we've been forced to get used to that. But I'll tell you, Dr. CJ and I are very personable people, and we go out of our way because it's who we are to make sure you feel not only connected to the website and recipes and considerations that people run into, but you get to see my bright, shiny face every week. So there you go.
Awesome. And then somebody asked about alcohol. Do we ever get to drink alcohol again?
Hell yes. In fact, Dr. CJ, I'm going to have to tell a story on you. So when I first came to Pura Vida, and, you know, I was in the program and I'm doing the best I can because I think I know so much. I told Dr. CJ, I said, you know, I have been invited to go to Napa. Now I'm from Ohio. So when you go to Napa, you have to drink wine. And she's so sweet. She looks at me and she goes, you just don't eat your fruits that day, you know? So the idea is, no, you know, for a short period of time, go back to the garage analogy. If you're trying to clean out your body, let's get to business. And for the next 40 days, let's be serious about it. If you want to drink alcohol every week, then go to somebody else's program. But for 40 days, give it up. If I can give it up, and I love to drink, you can give it up. So where alcohol is a sugar. And so after a period of time, you're going to be able to bring that in just like you would fruits or a birthday cake because it's Aunt Sarah's birthday. And you're going to be able to bring it in a moderate way that feels like you have balance. But in the very beginning, yeah, it has no place for it because it's piling on the sugar that's choking your cells. So give me 40 days and then you can go to Napa too. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Barbara wants to know, and I'm not sure, personal biometrics. So Barbara, do you mean, what are you calling connection? So we do have testing that we run remotely through your computer to customize your program. And then we do have some bioimpedance scales, body composition analysis scales, different choices where you can have something at home to be able to see what your biometrics are as far as water percentage, body fat. And there's $30 scales that work just fine, all the way up to what we have in the office, which is like a $250 scale for home use. So we definitely have taken care of being able to test you and personalize the program no matter where you are. So Barbara, does that answer your question regarding personal biometrics? You want to type there in the chat? Jody said she gave up alcohol completely, and then her taste for it changed, and she wasn't expecting that. Jody bought a Weight Watchers scale. Yeah, it works great. It's like $30. That's not important. What's important is that you stay connected with us, that you follow the program. As long as you're losing inches and getting younger and feeling better, we know that you're headed in the right directions. We've taken so many people through this program that we know if things aren't right, and we can coach you through that no matter where you are or what scale you're using. Okay, Barbara said yes, that answers her question. Awesome. So we still have 16 people on the call. Wow, I can't believe it. We've been like together for almost a couple of hours now. I'm still here. Does anybody have anything else they want to ask? I left my cell number in the chat. I left the link. You can either pay the $17.97 up front for $500 off, or we have a 2 payment option available as well. If you click on that link, it gives you both options. If you have any hesitation or feel like, I really want to get on a phone call with Dr. CJ before I make this kind of decision, or I want to talk to my partner, or I want to sleep on it, that's awesome. I don't ever want anybody to feel pushed or pressured to make a decision. But I also don't want you to let fear get in your way, right? We don't want to let fear get in the way. So please text me. I will get on the phone with you over the next couple of days. I do this often. It's called a 15-minute discovery call. So if it feels right, go for it. If you're not sure and it doesn't resonate, maybe it's not the right time, but don't let fear be the reason that you don't take the next step and move forward. Because I promise you, you're not going to be sorry. Coach Teresa, Jody, any last comments before we call it a night?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm not a very disciplined person in a lot of ways. As far as drinking, I eat what I want. I've always been fairly thin, so I just eat whatever the heck I want. And
Yeah.
I was quite surprised to find out, because I wasn't that overweight, that my ratio of fat to muscle, I was actually, what is the category called? Obese, thin obese, or what is it called?
Skinny fat.
Skinny fat.
Oh, skinny fat. Yeah. Where you look thin from the outside, but inside you have visceral fat around your organs and higher body fat percentage than you would ever guess.
Yes. So I was that way, and that motivated me. But the discipline thing, I just had never been able to be disciplined. And what really helped, it takes about a week or two to acclimate a bit, because it is a dramatic change in what you're cooking and what you're eating and what you're buying. But it's so laid out in the journal, and it's so laid out in specific, exact instructions and guidelines on exactly how to do it, that for me, it was easier to go drastic and just kind of surrender it all and just, I'm not doing this. I'm going to take limited time and just do this incredibly, it's intense. It's very detailed program.
Yeah.
It was much easier for me to just
Yep.
surrender it all and just sign on to this whole package, because it's so laid out. And it can be overwhelming at first, but you very quickly catch into the rhythm, catch on, and figure out, there's a lot of ways to make the food taste really pretty good. And some of those cooking techniques I still do now too. 'Cause they're good.
Yep.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
I know I still have a couple clients. Thanks, Jody. I've got Kathy on the line. She's a client, Kat. If you want to mention anything about your experience, Sylvia just texted me. Yes, we can definitely go on the phone, Sylvia. She's from Asheville, North Carolina. I love North Carolina. And then I also have Heather. She's a client. She lost 25 pounds in one round. So if either one of you want to say anything, you're not on video, so maybe if you're shy, it won't be that big of a deal. So Kathy, do you want to say anything?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, sweetheart. Yes.
Hi, yay. I'm doing good. I had that little bout with my little ulcer thing, but everything that you share with me to use, it's working out. I feel good. I feel fine. I don't have any problems. I've been on the
Nice.
program for, I guess it's going on a couple of years, and I've had a lot of great weight loss, and Teresa's my coach. I love her. Hey, Teresa.
Hey, girl.
So the program is great. You just have to commit to it. What do you want? Do you want your health to be bad, or do you want your health to improve? For me, it's improve. People see me now and they was like, who are you? What happened to you? I retired 3 years ago, and it was the best decision was for me to get into this program. It's a very good program. I eat regular food like everybody else, and I know I read labels now much better than I did before, and I make sure the things that are in the label that I can't have, I just don't have them. So I'm like borderline vegetarian, vegan. Once in a while, I might have some fish, but other than that,
And you did well as a vegetarian vegan.
Yes, everything is great. It's great. I know what I can eat. I know what I can't eat. I know what I can do and I can't do. And it changed my life.
Nice. I love it. Thanks, Kat.
Thank you.
I love working with you. You're a blessing.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a part of the tribe.
Thank
Heather,
you.
you're welcome. Heather, do you want to say anything about your experience? Any other clients? I'm looking to see who else is on the line. Judy, Julie, Marie, hi, Nancy, Rachel, Jordan, Carol, Chantel, Diane, Barbara. You guys have any more? Yes.
It's a really good question Julie asked about. I heard you talking about your products, quote, when on the program, can you buy all the food at regular grocery stores?
Oh, yes, you
Yeah.
can.
So yeah, the benefit for those that are listening and not really wanting to pay attention to chat is, yeah, this is real. And I've done all that. I've done Nutrisystem. I've done, oh, I can't even think of the things now where there's this, like soup, dried soup or whatever, shakes or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. What is that
There's a
called?
lot. Yeah, there's a lot out there. But if you like real food and that resonates with you, that's what you'll find here. So it's all real food. The supplements that we suggest to you are what comes from the diagnostic test that says,
Mhm.
hey, your kidneys, your adrenal glands, your enzymes, whatever, are struggling a bit because
Uh-huh.
of all the sugar we put in the body. Here are supplements that will help you in the short term. And the beautiful thing that I know as a coach, I'm telling you, every single person, I'm getting a little into details, but just to give you a sense of numbers, people will come in and they may have 140 biometrics out of whack. So their body's just, man, just struggling because it's sugar burn, sugar burn. It's all this inflammation. I just scanned somebody today. They're down to like 29. So the beautiful thing is the supplements are there just kind of like a good oil change. You just have to put a little investment in your car so it drives a little better. So in the beginning of the program, you're right. You're going to have some extra supplements and you're going to think, oh my God, I have all these pill cases. But it's because there's such a deficiency in the nutrition. I'm a farmer from Indiana, so trust me. So there's a deficiency in our food. So for the short term, you will have supplements that add to your wellness. But over time, not only there are certain supplements that Dr. CJ will say, this is just what we need. You're over age 50. You don't make as much enzymes, blah, blah, blah. But most things you can get from good, clean food. And that's what I want you to really know. You're going to be eating real food.
Yeah. Yep. Real food that you can buy at any grocery store. I mean,
Yep.
Obviously organic's better and it's more affordable now, but I've had lots of people go through the program with great results, not buying organic. You're just buying different protein sources, fish, but there's no food that you have to eat. You're going to have a big, long list of choices. So there's going to be beef, chicken, tuna, swordfish, cod, shrimp, crab, lobster, buffalo, which I love now. So there's clean options. There's lots of different protein options, tons of different vegetables. You're not hungry. Tanisha said she's not hungry because when you're burning through an average of a half a pound of fat per day, you're getting an extra like 1,700 calories of food, just like you were eating an extra 1,700 calories of food. So it's not low calorie. It's not starvation. It's inward healing. It's fat burning. It's autophagy. There's nothing else like this program on the planet. I've been there. I've done that. I've been practicing for 28 years. I grew up in a family that fasted, and my grandparents sold Shaklee. There's nothing that works like this program. And every part of it, I understand now over the last 7 years of why it works scientifically. And if you want to get that in depth into it, I've got tons of trainings that you can watch. Or if you just want to go, you know what, I don't want to know about the science. I just want to lock arms with you. You show up and you stay connected, you stay coachable, and you make that commitment. And we've got you, and you will be successful in this program, I promise. All right. Any more questions? I think we've gone long enough. Please text me if you have any more questions. If you want to get on the phone, go ahead and use that link if you're ready to get signed up. We'll be in contact with you immediately. We'll get your consultations scheduled right away, either via Zoom or in the clinic. A lot of the people on the call will be via Zoom, which is awesome. I love to get this program out to more people. And I love and appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for all of your attention. I'm just really impressed that you spent your evening with me and wanting to learn more about health and nutrition. Is there anyone else that wants to say anything else before we call it a night? Going, gone. All right, everybody. Dr. CJ Benkert with Pura Vida Wellness, helping you, inspiring you, coaching you, motivating you, educating you, encouraging you to live your purest life in mind, body, and spirit. The Puta Vida way. Good night, everybody. Whoop, whoop. Hopefully, I will see you on Zoom or in the clinic shortly.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, everybody.